Welcome to the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by Shekina community members. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode, show notes, and other information at shekinacommunity.com. Hello, this is Ray.
And this is Chinua, filling in for Ro, since she's in Kopangan.
Welcome to the podcast, Chinua.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. Podcast intro, I should say. We've heard your voice on the podcast before.
I know, it's like I'm doing something new.
Yeah. This is week 27 of the podcast, and we feel like hedgehogs to be here. It's Saturday, the 30th of March as we record this.
Listeners, this podcast is supported by you. Because this podcast is about meditation, we want to keep it completely ad-free. Our beloved patrons at patreon.com support us for as little as $1 a month. Patrons get extra audio every month. So you can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast.
Become a patron. It's really fun. Supporting this podcast helps to keep Shekina communities running and free for travelers and spiritual seekers. And it helps us know that you appreciate what we're doing in putting this podcast into the world. Patrons, you are the best. You make us feel as though we are in a friendship sandwich. We're the filling, and you are the friends.
Who's the tomato?
Oh, Bob's the tomato.
Yeah, of course.
What have you been up to lately, Chinua?
Well, I recently took a trip to India, which was incredibly, how can I say? I felt like I was closing a big, beautiful circle and going back to the place where my boy Solomon was born. And it was beautiful to be there. I got to swim in the ocean. I got to play music with people I love. I played trumpet every sunset out on the beach.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
It looked like you had a big, sometimes quite a crowd.
Sometimes, yeah. And, it's just incredibly meditative to be in a place like that. And I was without all of you, my beautiful family, so I had lots of time to meditate and go inside and think about nature and think about God. It was beautiful.
It's so good.
Oh, yeah, well, I got to do some bird watching, which always feels incredible to me. I'm trying to really stock up on my old man habits, I'm calling them. Yeah. I need to have things that I can do, like, right up until I die.
Okay.
Like, as opposed to, I don't know.
Parkour.
Yeah, like parkour. I mean, I want to do something I can do from my hospital bed, like out the window. So parkour, I could do parkour out the window of my hospital bed. Yeah. But I don't know if I would be great at it.
That would be amazing.
When I'm 97.
So you saw some birds?
I did. I didn't see as many as I wanted to. But I did see a black-capped kingfisher, which is not so common for me. And lots of other amazing kingfishers. I went back to our spot where I saw some amazing water birds. And to me, it's just being out in nature that makes it amazing.
Well, you have to leave some too if it's going to be something you do until the end. You have to
don't see all the birds?
Don't see all the birds. And then you get bored and be like, well, this can't be an old man habit because I'm done with it already.
Oh, that's good. That makes this whole thing a success because I didn't see a lot of birds.
Yes.
I'm just kicking that can down the road.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to see them.
I'm going to see them. I got to play Polish music with a bunch of Polish guys, and I was playing trumpet, and they were playing all these traditional Polish songs.
So what's that like for people who don't know what Polish music is?
Well, for a black guy from Detroit, it's like very far away from
your roots.
native base of music. But it was great. I understood the music because I played in a klezmer band. And or a band that played klezmer music.
So it's accordion, right?
Accordion,
a bit
violin.
polka-ish, or
no, you wouldn't think polka. you would think klezmer. And you can just Google the difference between polka and klezmer because, wow. But really fun, really upbeat, very authentic sounding. This group actually traveled around Poland, finding old villages and asking for their songs. And they spent some time collecting all these old songs.
And our friend traveled with them too, right?
For some of the time,
Laura.
yeah. Do you want me to sing one?
Sure.
Well, there's one that
Just
went...
a little snippet.
A little snippet. It went... Dobro meme miała, robić mi nie kazała.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. O Tatiana, robić mi nie kazała.
That's really cool to hear because I feel like this intro is all about little snippets of our life, and a big part of our life through you and through other people is this international music that comes to us from everywhere, from people from those countries. So we get to experience a lot of the world that way.
Heck yeah.
So you and I just returned from this mandatory foundation conference that we attended in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
And you went to that, and I hung out with the kids. But the best part, I think, was being able to hang out with Brendan and Leaf. And during these intros, Ro and I have talked a lot about Brendan and Leaf and how they had to move and when they did move and all of that. And that's been an interesting transition for all of us, very hard, but we are approaching it hopefully. And so it was really good to be with them there and to stock up on time with them. And yeah, it felt good. We've been friends with them for 10 years now, almost 11 years now, actually.
Love those guys.
Yeah, we love them.
Love them.
And,
Good people.
And yeah, they have this amazing house. And
Yes.
and then we also had 2 birthday celebrations for our daughter Kenya, who turned 15, and we had one at home here in Pai, and then one at this really great cheap little Burmese restaurant. And then we went and ate bingsu, and we brought Brendan and Leaf and their kids.
But hold on, if you don't know about bingsu, you need to level up.
What was it that you told me the first time you had bingsu?
I don't remember. What did I say?
You said something like there was the day we got married, the day you had your first child, and then the day you had bingsu.
Yeah, I may have gotten those. I may have gotten those in the wrong order in terms of importance. I should say there was the day I got bingsu.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
I mean, maybe I would put accepted Jesus as my savior, number 1. But that's got to be number 2.
Yeah, okay. All right.
No, it's very good.
So the marriage just got demoted. Cool. Well, bingsu
It's
is
like-
delicious, to
it's
be
like-
fair.
It's like if a fairy and an angel decided to get together and collaborate on how to make edible snow.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It is a Korean dessert. You have a whole bunch of spoons and eat one bowl together. And that's what we did for Kenya's 15th birthday. So our second child is 15, Chinua. So, yeah, I think Ro and Neil are on their way now to Kopangan. They were taking a train, so I have no idea how long that's going to take them. Maybe they're there already. Who knows? And then they and Josh and Naomi are going to be doing meditation, lunches, and other gatherings in Kopangan on the island. So that's exciting. And, yeah, we're just rolling along in the smoke here and watering the garden. So.
Absolutely. Today's episode is a contemplation of nature meditation that I'm guiding. And it was recorded at Shekina Garden right here in Thailand. I mean, so really, like a lot of the other meditations, it has 3 parts. So we start off really calming ourselves and practicing awareness of self via awareness of breath and how you're sitting and that type of slowing process. And there's lots of tools we use for that. And then I generally have people get up while they're in that state of stillness to get up and discover that thing that they're going to connect with. A lot of times it jumps out to them. Something speaks to you and feels like it's special out of that whole sea of natural things. So it might be a flower that catches your eye or a dead bug on the ground. I mean, it could be literally anything. It doesn't have to be sappy or hallmarky. Like just pick some aspect of nature. And then, of course, we guide the guided part. I have 6 questions that I use to focus us all on different vantage points and bridges to build into that meditative experience. Like think about how this connects and so forth. You'll see in the meditation. And then we, of course, just use that silence. It's rich with silence. There's only 6 questions in like a half an hour, so it's a lot of quiet time to really soak in and experience that thing.
And then we always have that third part in our meditations, which is about processing the experience. Because we do it together, we share in a circle, we use a talking stick or other object to talk through what we've learned or experienced during the meditation. But if you're on your own, you can also journal. And it sort of brings it to a more real place that you will actually remember and carry with you when you speak it out or write it out. So even if you journal it, you can just write out some points, some things you thought, words that occurred to you, whatever it is. And really try to listen well to one another. We say this every time, but it's such a good practice to learn to listen well. Let's begin.
Yeah. Wow, well, let's just start by breathing. So many meditations start the right way, which is with breathing, no matter where you are. In your mind space, where you've come from, let's just focus on our breath. Let's start off with our eyes closed. You can sit with your spine straight. It's a great way to begin. For a moment, simply feel the sensation of your breath. In fact, right now, that's all there is. Even as you relax and breathe normally, continue to feel your breath going down past your chest, behind your belly button, every time you exhale, it leaves you a little more soft. Imagine your breath bringing looseness. You can feel gravity on your limbs. If you need to, slowly roll your neck or your shoulders. Just let yourself slowly relax. In our style of meditation here at Shekina, we have a moment of preparation, followed by some guided silence. And at the very end, we share in a circle about our experience. Today's meditation will be a nature meditation, where we choose one aspect of nature to get close to ask questions about. Over the course of the meditation, you may feel the need to shift. Your body's in an uncomfortable position. Just feel free to move as your body tells you. As we sit and simply breathe, take a moment to begin to listen to the world of nature around us. There are many kinds of sounds. The sounds of animals and birds, of insects. There's even the sounds of machines, of the life of the village. Cars and voices. These sounds are part of this present moment, and we simply allow them to be. You can even think of them as being part of our meditation. They might trigger you to have certain thoughts. They might bring images to your mind. The silence that we have is our own silence. The world around us is full of life. In the same way, begin to listen to your own thoughts. You may have thoughts of the present moment. You may be wondering about details of how and why and what. You may have the future on your mind, things you might do later. All of these thoughts are allowed. In this style of meditation, instead of trying to block thoughts, we're simply going to allow them to flow without judgment on whether they're the right or the wrong thoughts. In fact, during this whole meditation, you find yourself moving in and out of focus. This is a natural movement which we don't resist. We simply allow. If your thoughts were a stream in front of you, what kind of stream would it be? It might be fast and loud, with a lot of turns. or it might be calm and low, with barely a movement on the surface. Without trying to change its state, we'll spend some time simply observing. Notice how your thoughts make you feel as you pass by. What type of judgments you might make about them. As we sit and listen and breathe, you may find yourself able to access your truest self, your inner self, your heart of hearts. So we're simply sitting and being. From that honest space, and in your own way, let's begin to welcome the Spirit of God, the divine, something greater than ourselves. It might take the form of a prayer. It might simply be an inner position of openness. You may imagine yourself as a flower opening. In a moment, we'll have an opportunity to stand up and begin to explore the nature that's close to us now. In Shekina Garden, all along the front and deep into the back, there's small trails, places to walk. You have a chance to find one thing, one aspect of nature. It might be a small piece that you really connect with and resonate with, like a leaf or a stone, or anything your imagination can grasp. We'll collect those things and bring them back to the sala. and sit in your original spot. You're also free to choose something that cannot be carried, but can be seen, like a cloud, a nearby mountain, a tree, or even some invisible aspect of nature that you'd like to contemplate. Once you've made your choice, you can sit again in this circle with your eyes closed. When we're all seated, we'll move on to the next part of our meditation. Feel free to get up and explore nature right now. Just take a moment to examine this aspect of nature that you connected with your touch, with your eyes, ears, your nose, all of your senses. Just feel it. If you've chosen something that you can't carry in your hands, you can explore it with your imagination. We can all use your imaginations to get as close to it as we want. Imagine its origins, its destination. Just connect with your inner 5-year-old that loves to explore and loves to play. We're going to ask ourselves a short series of questions as we connect with these aspects of nature. Between each question, there'll be an expanse of silence in which you can explore and imagine. If it helps you to be in a still and serious space where you can focus and probe, that's a great way to approach the silence. But be aware too, you can also be playful. You can move between the two states. You can activate your imagination. You can move as you need to. Some of the questions may immediately spark many thoughts and create little journeys of exploration. Some of the questions may not seem to have much importance or impact. That's also okay. You can let that questions slide by. You can generate your own questions. It's a safe space to be honest with yourself and to connect. First questions we're going to ask ourselves is, how am I connected to this part of nature? In what ways do we connect? And ask yourself, in what ways am I, in this aspect of nature, the same or very much alike?
And ask yourself, how am I different from this aspect of nature? In what ways are we not the same? And now let's ask ourselves, how does this aspect of nature connect to God? As you understand that term, how does God connect to this thing? And ask yourself, in what ways is God like this aspect of nature? How are they the same? And finally, let's ask ourselves, how is this part of nature distinct and different from God? In what ways are they not the same? Take a moment to return to your breathing. Just notice your breath and be present. As you feel ready, you can sit up and open our eyes. We'll begin our talking circle when we're all seated and ready.
When you are ready, take a few deep breaths and begin your time of journaling or sharing with others. Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation each week, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Have a beautiful week. Blessings to you.